I'm Chloe, and this video is going to be about tips on what I use to deal with my depression, anxiety, etc. Because a lot of you have wondered how I get through it if I'm not in therapy or on a day-to-day basis. What do I do to stay sort of in control of my depression? And I do different techniques. Some I figured out by myself, others I learned through therapy, and one I did myself that I find very useful, and I do it more than a few times a day, is I created a playlist on my phone as well as any other, and it's called Don't Give Up. And that playlist contains songs that explain how I'm feeling, like, you know, songs about depression, or that understand, like, I relate to the song. And then there's other songs, the second half of it is other songs that sort of make me feel good about myself, you know, lift my mood, get me happy. So that playlist together really helps me, because when I feel myself losing control of my anxiety, my self-harm or anything like that, and I feel like I need to do something like self-harm, I just plug in my headphones and I literally blast the playlist, so I'm sort of out, I'm not aware of anything else but the music. And it really helps to listen to songs that explain to me sort of what I feel and I can relate to. And then as I sort of, after those songs, come the uplifting about it all getting better, or just songs that make you smile and make you really happy. So that's sort of one thing I figured out by myself, and it really helps. And even like getting out the house, I still get very anxious for. So if I'm going alone, or even in the car with my mum and family, I will plug in, even have one headphone in and listen to that playlist. And it really helps calm me down, and it really sort of gets me back on a safe level where I can continue my day without having to self-harm or go further into my depression, where I could become, you know, suicidal again, or do something stupid that I might regret. Another thing I learned is from therapy, from cognitive behavioural therapy, I learned was to challenge yourself. Like, with my anxiety, I sort of cut off all my friends. I didn't want them to know about my condition. I didn't know how to approach them. I didn't know how to speak to them. I didn't know how to spend time with them. So I sort of backed away from any friends, and I stopped texting. So one of the challenge that I did was to text a friend, like, each day. It can be the same friend, it can be a different friend. So that was one thing, because it got me out of my comfort zone. Like, I was really anxious to even go outside the door. So it was another challenge was go outside and walk the dog just down the road, and that was a challenge for me. So I know those challenges seem really small, but any break in your pattern of what you do every day sort of smashes your normal pattern to pieces. So breaking the pattern by challenging yourself really helped me, because then you start, if you say you set up, like, do a challenge a day. It can be as tiny as what I did, was text a friend because I didn't do it in so long, or I don't know, make a drink for someone else, or go out your comfort zone, just walk out the door, walk a bit and come back, or, you know, do something simple, challenges like that. And it really break the pattern of me literally being scared, because it was challenging those feelings of fear and depression about the certain issue. And when you break it, you start thinking, well, if I can do that, then I can do something else. And that really helped me. So that's another thing that I did. Also, another thing that really helped me was talking to somebody. It doesn't have to be professional, because professionals are amazing, but sometimes having someone who's close to you can do it, or even a stranger like this website. But I talked to my friend Abby, and it really helps. And I think if you're close enough with someone that you find you can trust them completely, then do it. Talk to them. It doesn't have to be everything. It could be something so small, but it really helped to get my feelings out, to just say it, and to know that I've told someone and it helped, because it wasn't me. When you hide it from if your family knows, and great, or if you're hiding it from your friends and family, that adds to the depression, because you're so aware of what you need to do to keep your depression hidden, and that adds to your depression. So when I told my friend, it sort of felt like I wasn't being as suffocated as much, because someone knew. And when she didn't judge me, or when she sort of hugged me, I felt good, because that's one person I've now got in my corner. So it makes it easier then to tell your family or talk to a professional, because you know that when you told somebody, it went well. And if you don't have that close, confident friend, talk to a stranger. I mean, I did that as well, and it helped, because you're talking to someone completely, like if you do it online, and they don't know you from years ago, they don't know what you've been through, but telling it also helped, because like, even though they don't know on your personal level, you still told someone, so it makes it easier for when you tell someone else. So really talk to someone. I mean, it really helps, and it doesn't, this is going to sound silly, but it really doesn't have to be a person. When I was a few months ago, when I was deep in depression, I have a dog, and I talked to him just to blurt it all out. And I also got a hamster. And it really does. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just blurt it out what I'm feeling and how depressed I am. And after I've told the hamster, I feel good. And I told my doctor this, and he said it's fine. A lot of people talk to their pets to sort of get their feelings out. So if you have a pet, maybe that can be your source of just blurting your feelings out without anyone ever having to know. So that was another way. Also, I found distracting yourself when you have free time, and I don't know if everyone's different with depression, but I spend a lot of time in my room, because I don't like, being out, and even being around family, it makes me sort of a bit uncomfortable. So I spend practically all my time in my room when I'm alone, when I've got free time. And distracting yourself really works. I mean, yeah, you can use the music, but that only works for so long. You can't listen to the songs over and over and over and over again, because then you'll get bored of it. So what I do is I find a show, a TV program, or a film that I've never seen before, or even if it's a film like you've got or a TV show you've got on box set or something, and you really enjoy it. You start it from the very beginning, and every time you have free time, you watch an episode or a few episodes, and eventually you become invested in that show. So you sort of block off what you're thinking, and you just focus on that show. And it also helps to pass the time. Instead of sitting, I don't know, even if you're like me, sitting in your room and thinking and letting your thoughts get carried away, I know that when I'm in my bedroom and I can feel myself starting to slip, and I don't think the music will work, I will find a TV show on my TV, or a DVD, or a box set that I've got, and I will place it in from the very beginning, and I will watch them until I finish the whole thing. And sometimes I pick TV shows that have got like 11 seasons, and that can take ages, but then I know that I've got that show to turn to when I feel so down that I don't think anything else is going to work. And to me, that really helped me majorly, because not only does it pass the time very quickly, but it also, you don't really think if you're invested in a TV show or a film. You sort of focus on the film and what's going on, so it also clears your mind. And often or not, when you finish watching it, you're not thinking about what you thought about when you first decided to watch the TV show. So it really helps, and I use that method a lot, because I think that probably helps me the most, is getting invested in something that I know will take my mind off it for a very long time. So that is another tip that you can use. And also another one I learned was, it's sort of like challenging yourself, but it's an experiment, as my cognitive behavioural person did, and that was experiment every day with your feelings. It's sort of like challenging yourself, but with experimenting you take a certain feeling that keeps coming to you. Like mine is self-worth. I have a very big problem with self-worth. I think I'm worthless, and I even once carved worthless on my leg, and it's still healing today, and I probably will see that scar for the rest of my life. And what you do for experiment that really helped challenge my self-worth was you experiment. You take that feeling and you do an experiment to sort of challenge it. Like I challenged it by, because I thought I was so worthless that none of my friends want to be with me, they only did it out of pity. So I challenged it by, you know, inviting them to go out or coming over here at the beginning because I was too scared to go out. And when they did, and I started to realise that they did it because they wanted to, not because of pity. And that sort of, when you, so you do you pick a feeling that's so prominent in your head, and you do mini experiments until, and after a few experiments, it starts to crack holes sort of in that feeling of, you know, well, mine was self-worth. And then you start to think, well, am I really? I mean, I still have self-worth issues now, but it's not as big as it once was. I mean, I'm not going to go carve worthless on my other leg anymore. But, you know, it still really helped me to do mini experiments on that one feeling to sort of challenge my beliefs on it. And I think that's another thing, if you're especially feeling certain big feelings like self-worth issues and stuff like that, and that really helped me. Also, find a place where you can be yourself that isn't your room, because you need to go somewhere. Like before, I just recently moved, and before that it was the park. I could go sit under a tree or something and sort of feel at calm, you know, at peace and at calm, or even just a walk there, it sort of relaxed me. See, and so find a place. It doesn't have to be a park. It could be, I don't know, a bench, a friend's house, a tree, I don't know, anywhere that isn't your home that you can go if you're, I don't know, you need a space that's completely yours to go to. Find a space like that, and when you feel yourself getting so overpowered and overwhelmed, if it's nearby, great. Go to that space and sort of just stay there until you start to relax and your mind starts to clear. And that's what I do sometimes, and it really helps just to know that you've got a space that you can escape to without anybody, you know, knowing. Nobody until now knew about my space. So, you know, don't tell anyone if you don't want to. It'll be your own space where you can go and be completely yourself, let your guard down with no judgment. And I think it's really important that you have a space like that where you can totally be yourself without fear of judgment. And I really recommend you do that, because it's very important to believe in yourself. And I really think that if you just find a little place where you can belong and, you know, be yourself, no guards up, you know, if you want to cry there, you know, you want to do anything, just, you know, it really helps to know that you've got a place somewhere that you can go to without anybody knowing and release all the pent-up tension. And I think it'll really help if you do that. And I know I'm waffling on, but I really wanted to give you some tips that sort of helped me and is still helping me through it. And I just want to also say that people seem to think that mental illness is a quick fix. If you, I don't know, go on antidepressants, you go to therapy and you sort of get it fixed really soon. But it's not. It's a long, long road. And some people have said, like, how long has it taken you to get better? And I just want to say, I'm not better. I'm nowhere near better. I'm sort of still in, maybe sort of in the middle of being in the middle. I'm sort of from the beginning to the middle. I'm sort of in the middle of that space. I mean, I've been, I don't know, seeing people doing this for maybe 2 years now, and I'm still not there. It's going to be a lifelong commitment, because you've got to, when I finish cognitive behavioural therapy, what you have to do is memorize all your techniques that worked, so that you can use them every day to know that if you find yourself slipping back, to use a technique to get in there. Because every day you're going to have to fight the urge to not give up. You know, it's the same with self-harming. Every day for the rest of your life, you're going to have to fight the urge to cut yourself or self-harm in any other way. And it is like smoking, alcohol, drugs, that they're going to have to fight it. It's just that mental illness is sort of seen as a big thing that you don't talk about. And I just want people to know that even though it's going to be, you know, it might take years, a few years to get better, it might take a few months until you start feeling better. It's just, it's worth it. It really is worth it. I mean, I'm nowhere near the end of my depression, but I feel so much better from where I started. I'm no longer carving worthless into my leg. I'm no longer, you know, ignoring all my friends and family. I'm no longer scared of the outside, and I can walk out the front door and not be absolutely paranoid that something awful is going to happen to me. You know, I still can't look to the future very well yet. I still sort of focus on getting by hour, and sort of you have to praise yourself. If you make it through the hour, great. Then the next hour, and you find yourself sort of getting used to the fact that, yeah, I've made the hour, I've made that, and you realise you can do this. I know it's really hard when people who don't understand depression, suicide, self-harm sort of make judgments about it, and I think that makes it a lot harder for people like us. But you just have to know that there's many people out there experiencing the exact same pain as you, and wanting and wishing people were there for you. And these are sort of what the videos are about, and the blog and the things about, is that you know that I still struggle with the fact, is anyone even gonna, you know, want to hear my advice? But I really just want you to know that you're not alone. You know, even if I don't know you or I've known you, you can trust me. All I want to do is give a little hope to someone. You know, make them smile, even if it's just for a few seconds. And if telling my story and giving tips on what's helped me so far can help someone else with this, or, you know, give them hope that they can get as far as I've got so far, or stop self-harming, suicide, then to be honest, I will be a happy girl. So I know this video was rather long today, but I just want to thank you all for the responses that I've got for Sprinkle of Courage. And if anyone has got any questions they want to ask, keep sending me them in messages, and I just really hope that someday soon you find a little bit of brightness in your life and that you can be happy again. So thank you for watching.